Alright, so this is going to be a full review of the Sprime PM1. This is a mouse that was sent out to me, and I have been using it for about 2 weeks at this point. So, yeah. Before I get into this review, like and sub, use my codes in the description, and thank you again for them sending this out to me. So this mouse comes in on their website at $120, but you can find it much cheaper on other sites. It does come in black, red, or white. I actually think that the white looks the best out of all of them. And it does have like this white, this red accent on the other side. 43 grams, comes in at about 44, 45, depending on the scale that you're using. And it is 8000 hertz compatible. This is the 1000 hertz dongle here because the 8001 is not out yet. So yeah, I don't know how the 8000 hertz performs, but most of the mice coming out lately have been fine in their performance, so I assume it'll be decent. In the box, it does have like this kind of pull-away box. That's nice, and then like an opening. So I did change the feet from the small 4 feet to the 2 big feet, and I do like the 2 big feet better. They give you grips, a very standard cable, and a dongle, and that's it. So, and obviously the mouse and another little sensor piece. So nothing too special there, but yeah, actually I'm just gonna keep it like this. Getting into everything about it, the shape is supposed to be very G703 similar, and I do really enjoy using the G703, so this mouse did actually do a decent job of doing that. It is a lot smaller. It's 120 millimeters long, 60 millimeters at its grip width, and 40 millimeters tall. So if you want a G703 that is much smaller in the hand, and it is much, I can't really think of the word right now, but it's much more aggressive in the way that it goes down. The front of the mouse sits a ton lower than the G703s, and obviously it is much lighter. But it does, even though it is basically a smaller version of it, it does feel very different in the hand, because the hump sits in a very different place than it would if this was a much bigger mouse. So for me, I still do claw grip this, but it is kind of a little bit awkward because it is so small, and I can see this not working for very big-handed people. But if you have like medium to smaller sized hands, I feel like this is actually a very good shape for you, and I did really like the shape. It is perfect for my hand size. My hand size is just under 18 by like 9-ish, 9.5. And this uses Omron optical switches, which are sort of weird. They don't feel heavy necessarily, but they feel like they rebound very slow. So if you are playing a game where you have to like butterfly click or spam it very fast, I don't think that this would be the mouse for you. These are very tactile, and there is really no pre-travel on them. Sorry for my fingers. And a little bit of post-travel on them, but they just don't rebound very fast. But they feel good for games like Call of Duty or games like that. They actually feel really good, and the tactility is very satisfying. The side buttons, I have no idea what switches they use, but they do have some pre-travel and some post-travel, but that's expected just because of how big they are. And for the size of them, they're actually pretty decent side buttons. They're pretty spammable, and not very tactile, but I mean you can feel it. And the scroll wheel is very good. It feels a lot like a Pulsar scroll wheel, actually almost identical to a Pulsar scroll wheel in my opinion. And the click is heavy. If you spam the click, if you are someone who spams the scroll wheel click, you will not like this scroll wheel. But the steps are defined and is very smooth. The coating of this mouse is very matte. Just feels like plastic. Honestly, that's the best way to explain it. It's not chalky or anything like that. It's just kind of matte, and that's why I put this grip on just this click, because the way I hold this, you have to like tilt your hand a little bit, and my finger would sort of slide off if I didn't have this grip, just because my fingertips get a little bit sweaty, and sweaty hands aren't the best for this kind of matte material. There is a on and off button on the bottom, and there's no DPI button. You do have to do that in the software. I'm not going to show off the software because it's very basic, and it's on their website, and there's no 8,000 hertz option yet, obviously. So yeah, the feet are decent. I think that the bigger feet are much better than the smaller feet, especially on something like a SkyPad. I'm not going to change them with the big feet, but if I just had to use the small feet and they didn't come with the big feet, I would probably change the small feet. The sensor being a 3395, it feels fine, obviously. And yeah, there's no quality control issues with this mouse, like, at all. The battery life of 80 hours is about right for what it is. It lasts me over a week of use every day, so the battery is very, very good. And yeah, I don't really know much else to say, really. Omron opticals, they feel decent. One of the probably the best opticals I felt besides the Razer ones. Even then, I think I liked these ones over the V3 Razer opticals. This is just a small G703 with optical clicks in them. That's literally what it is, and 8,000 hertz and 43 grams. If you like that, just get this. That's literally what it is. That's what it is. But that's the end of this video. Peace.